Morning, students. Welcome to your biology class. We are finished with our chapter number 1. Actually, I am taking only those topics which are now this year, which are going to come for your house examination, right? For the NEET, those topics which we have not covered, I will include them in the special lectures. But right now, our focus is on first to complete our syllabus, right? So that we can get relaxed at one time. Okay, so few other topics we will add later once we will revise the chapters, right? So here I am starting with our chapter number 2, that is our biological classification. As in our previous chapter, we talked about nomenclature, we talked about identification, and why we also talked about that why classification is so important, right? So to make the study convenient as well as to understand the organisms in a better way. So here is specifically we are going to take into consideration the biological classification, that like we always say, there is a this is plantae, this is animalia, this is fungi. So on the which basis these organisms, they are classified by the scientists, that we are going to talk about in this chapter. Which criterias, which points, which features, which are particular for a special kingdoms, right? So that we are going to take into consideration in our today's in our this chapter basically. So let's talk about first the history little bit, that how this classification has been described by different scientists. As first one was the Aristotle, right? Aristotle, he classified the organism into two important categories. He gave us two kingdom classification. He classified the organism into two main kingdoms. One was the plants and one was the animals. He divide the organism into the plants on the basis of, further he classified the plants on the basis of their size. Like he said, there are trees, shrubs and herbs depending on their size. Animalia, he said, there are different kind of animals. Few are with the blood and few are there without the red blood. But then after the Aristotle, Carlos Linnaeus, he also he also described two kingdom classification. But see, both they give this two kingdom classification, but these two kingdom classification, they were not able to answer many questions. Like, they only said there are two important categories, that is the plants and animals, but they never told us that we are to place Euglena like organisms. Now Euglena is the one who has characters, few characters like the plants also, so it perform photosynthesis, but this organism is without cell wall, so it means it has characteristics of animals also. They just very broadly they said there are plants, there are animals, but where to place Euglena like organism? So there was no idea in this two kingdom classification. Then this two kingdom classification, they were unable to place fungi like organisms, right? They were unable to place this fungus group, that where to place this fungi organisms. So as fungus it comes in non photosynthetic, right? But there was no idea given in the two kingdom classification that where to keep them. So then came three kingdom classification. This was given by Ernest Haeckel. He said he gave us three kingdom: Protista, Plantae and Animalia. He placed all unicellular organisms in Protista, but still, as you can see, there was no place for fungi. Then coplant. Copeland gave us 4 kingdom classification. Now, Protista was given already added by the Ernest Haeckel in the two kingdom, right? In the two kingdom, he added Protista, and now the classification was 3 kingdom. Now Copeland added another kingdom, that is the Monera, then Protista, then Plantae, and Animalia. In Monera, all prokaryotes organisms they were placed. In Protista, all unicellular eukaryotes were placed, and Plantae there was the cell wall, and Animalia they were having without cell wall features. That 4 kingdom classification was given by Copeland. Then came the main which we use even today also, that is 5 kingdom classification. It was given by R. H. Whitaker. Its full name is R. H. Whitaker. He gave us this 5 kingdom classification which is most commonly used these days. He gave Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Right? He gave us the separate kingdom for fungi. So Monera includes unicellular, right? Prokaryotes. Protista includes unicellular eukaryotes. Fungi, all are saprophytes. Plantae, they are autotrophs. Animalia, they include those which are heterotrophs in nature. And this 5 kingdoms classification that was given by R.H. Whitaker. Then there was Carl Woese who gave us 6 kingdom classification, but we still follow 5 kingdom classification. Actually, what this Carl Woese did, he just separate this Monera into archaebacteria and eubacteria. But Monera was already put up in the separate by the Whitaker. He divided Monera into two subcategories in the 5 kingdom classification, that is the archaebacteria and eubacteria. But Carl Woese who put separate kingdom for archae and eubacteria. But we know that archaebacteria and eubacteria, they together actually form the Monera group only, right? So then Protista, fungi, Plantae, and Animalia, they were the same group which were given by Whitaker also. So that is the reason we did not feel the need to follow the 6 kingdom classification. We always follow the most commonly, that is the Whitaker classification, right? Few facts, but there are, if we talk about why he placed archae and eu differently. Archaebacteria is the older bacteria, right? Old ancient bacteria. It means this was the earliest. सबसे पहले जो bacteria था, this was the present. It can survive in all adverse condition, means extremely cold temperature, even in the hot water springs, at the boiling water. This archaebacteria, it was able to survive. Then the comes eubacteria. यहाँ से evolve हुए eubacteria. They are known as the advanced bacteria because they are now evolved one, and they found in the present situation, in the present day situation. Actually, according to 6 kingdom of classification, they gave the organism, mainly describe the organism into 3 domains. They said there is a 3 domains of life, and according to them, according to this Carl Woese, the 3 domains of life were archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. He said these are the 3 main domains which follow the kingdom, that is belong to kingdom, that is archaebacteria. All the bacteria they which are present in the today's scenario, they are the eubacteria. Then he included the Protista, Mycota, which is your fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. into the eukarya group. So he said living world has three domains of life. This question actually sometime it is asked that what is the three domains of life. Actually six kingdom of classification he described the living world into three domains. That is, it includes archaea, which was the ancient bacteria. It was the ancient bacteria kingdom, that is the archaebacteria, and then is the present day bacteria, that is the eubacteria. Then he kept protista, fungi, mycota. He used the word mycota, which is for the fungi, right? Mycota, plantae, and animalia into the eukarya group. So there are the actual, these are the six kingdoms: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they were broadly categorized into three domains of life, right? This much is clear to everyone, that how these different scientists they describe the different kingdom of classification. There was the six kingdom classification, then the most talked about, we are going to talk about, which is in our syllabus also, that is the five kingdom classification, which was given by Whittaker. In the next continuing with the lecture, I'm going to talk about the details which followed by Whittaker about the five kingdom classification.